The question is extremely susceptible since the part is not genetic and will not undergo automatic to the Duke of Wales on the Tsarina's die. The state has set up a top standard team to see at the way the World Organization is regulated. The team is meet after, formally to overview how the state is run by its secretary and governor corps. Yet, elder source added how the collection in London would as well believe which happens while the Tsarina, who turns 92 in April, day. One told, I think the issue of the continuity, yet unpleasant it may natural be, will go upwards. The team is anticipated to paper to the state heads of by the government meet, CHOGM, in London in April, that is potential to be the recent how the 91-year-old king will visit. Other resource told the question of the continuity is anticipated to be debated by state leaders on the margins of the summit conference, especially while they encounter out of officials on refuge at Windsor Loch. The Tsarina was declared chief of the state at her crowning in 1953, while she was chief of country in 7 of its 8 members. Though the Tsarina took above of her dad George VI, it is not an genetic stance how will undergo automatic to her son, who will be chief of country in just 15 of the 53 term nations how now do up the state. Any judgment on the next would include to be done by the state heads of by the government at the period of the Tsarina's die. But down there is no official trial for selecting her heir. Time lot state figures assume down there will be no lifelike option to Duke Charles. Down there has in the history been say of electing a ceremonious lead to enhance the organization's more democratic authorities. One resource told the question to be solved was if a off judgment should be undertaken to designate Duke Charles to the stance, or if a new trial should be coordinated to provide how it is ever the UK king who automatic becomes chief of the state. Down there are different formulas creature play in, the resource told. Should it ever be the successor to the altar or Duke Charles oneself? Is it the man or the stance? The top standard team, that is done up of 7 elder ex-ministers of the state, will encounter at the Flesh's London staff at Marlborough Building. The team, that has its own personnel and budgeting, is freelance of the state secretary. It will see at how the secretary is run and underfunded, how a new registrar general is selected, and the balance sheet of force among the state's governor corps and execution board. The Tsarina has been work in individual to try to provide how Duke Charles does prosper her, send elder officials about the planet to haul state leaders. At the recent CHOGM in Malta in 2015, the Tsarina said them how she could not desire to include been superior backed and provided in the state rather than by the Duke of Wales who continues to offer so lot to it in large difference. The Duke of Wales provided the Tsarina at the CHOGM in Sri Lanka in 2013. An entire chapter of his web-site is dedicated to the state, noted how he has attended 41 out of 53 countries and has been a pride advocate for more than rather than 4 persons many decades. The top standard team containing of